But these pedophiles had resources. They bought an island, and they took children.
The whispers didn't start loud. They never do. They slipped through the cracks of social media late at night. Half-finished sentences, vague posts, and nervous laughter from people who suddenly stopped joking. Then the names started lining up. Powerful names, untouchable names. And right in the middle of it all, Jay-Z's name began popping up again, tied to a set of newly resurfaced Epstein documents that nobody expected to reopen old wounds this fast.
I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the putting girls in the suitcases.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about it.
What made this moment different wasn't just the paperwork, it was who stepped forward. 50 Cent, a man known for never missing an opportunity to stir the pot, but also someone who survived the same industry traps he now criticizes. And standing right beside him, not as a comedian cracking jokes, but as a man demanding accountability, was DL Hughley. When those two voices aligned, people stopped scrolling and started listening. Because when entertainers who've seen the system from the inside start telling the same story, it hits different.
I think Jay-Z's tone was exactly, but see, I saw Puffy say the same and then a video came out.
Yeah.
And what they were hinting at had everyone asking the same question in hushed tones. Is Jay-Z running, or is he just moving ahead of the storm? Jay-Z didn't come from luxury. His story has always been sold as the ultimate rise from struggle. A kid from Brooklyn's Marcy Projects who turned street knowledge into boardroom power. For years, that journey inspired millions. He wasn't just a rapper, he became a symbol, proof that talent mixed with hustle could break any ceiling. People watched him build an empire piece by piece, album by album, deal by deal. Rockefeller wasn't just a label, it was a statement. He rapped about survival, ambition, and escaping systems designed to keep people stuck.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then can I ask about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is...
As his fame grew, so did his reach. He wasn't only performing anymore. He was sitting with executives, politicians, and billionaires. He learned how power really moves, quietly, behind closed doors. Fans praised his intelligence, his patience, and his ability to stay calm while others self-destructed. While scandals swallowed artists around him, Jay-Z always seemed untouched. Clean image, strategic silence, perfect timing. Then came Beyoncé. Their union turned them into royalty. Together, they weren't just stars, they were a brand, a force. Their marriage symbolized Black excellence, generational wealth, and unity. Every move they made felt calculated, protected, and polished. And for a long time, that shield worked. Criticism slid off. Rumors died quickly. Anyone who questioned Jay-Z's associations was brushed off as jealous, bitter, or clout-chasing. But the past has a way of resurfacing when nobody expects it. And when Epstein's name started trending again, it reopened conversations people were told to forget.
I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the putting girls in the suitcases.
Suddenly, old warnings didn't sound so crazy anymore. Names that were once laughed at started sounding uncomfortably familiar. This wasn't about guilt or innocence, it was about patterns. And patterns don't disappear just because time passes. 50 Cent has never pretended to be polite. He's built a career on saying what others whisper. Over the years, he's mocked, questioned, and openly challenged Jay-Z's choices. At first, people treated it like petty rivalry, rap beef, ego clashes. But lately, his tone shifted, less joking, more direct. When the Epstein documents began circulating again, 50 didn't hesitate to connect dots publicly, even if he didn't spell everything out. His posts weren't accusations, they were questions, the kind that make people uncomfortable because they hang in the air unanswered. Then DL Hughley added his voice, and that changed the energy. DL isn't known for industry beef, he's known for calling out hypocrisy, for speaking on injustice even when it costs him. When he started talking about Epstein, he didn't focus on celebrities alone. He talked about silence, about how power protects itself, about how certain names get shielded while others get sacrificed. He made it clear that fame should never equal immunity. What nobody expected was how these conversations lined up with Jay-Z's sudden low profile. Appearances slowed, public sightings became rare. Fans noticed, bloggers noticed, industry insiders whispered. There was no official announcement, no dramatic exit, just a noticeable absence. And in a world where visibility is currency, disappearing always raises eyebrows. Online speculation exploded. Some claimed Jay-Z had left the country, others said he was quietly relocating assets. Nothing was confirmed, but the timing felt strange, especially when reports surfaced about new overseas property plans connected to him and Beyoncé. Again, real estate moves aren't crimes. Wealthy people buy land all the time. But context matters, and when those moves happen while damaging documents resurface, people start asking why now? DL Hughley didn't accuse, he challenged the system. He pointed out how quickly society demands proof from victims, but offers endless benefit of the doubt to powerful men. He reminded audiences that Epstein didn't operate alone. That network thrived because influential people looked away, participated, or stayed silent. According to DL, the real issue wasn't whether Jay-Z's name appeared in a file, it was whether anyone was brave enough to ask what those connections meant. 50 Cent echoed that sentiment in his own way. Less speeches, more sarcasm. He compared the situation to past industry scandals where denials were loud until evidence appeared. He reminded followers how many times the public was told to ignore rumors, only to later watch truth spill out in courtrooms and leaked videos. His message was simple: pay attention to behavior, not just statements. The Epstein documents themselves were complicated. Names appeared without context. Allegations sat next to unverified claims. Legal experts cautioned against jumping to conclusions, and that part matters. Being named isn't proof of wrongdoing, but it does invite scrutiny, especially when those names overlap with people who've maintained close relationships with figures later exposed for serious crimes. Jay-Z's history of associations became a focal point again. Public friendships, business partnerships, collaborations that once seemed harmless now looked different under a harsher light. Critics asked how many controversial figures could exist in someone's orbit before coincidence stopped being a convincing explanation. Supporters pushed back hard, arguing that proximity isn't guilt and success naturally brings questionable acquaintances. But here's the twist: silence doesn't land the same anymore. In an era where receipts surface overnight, saying nothing feels louder than denial. Jay-Z's lack of response only fueled theories. People weren't demanding confessions, they were demanding clarity, and clarity never came. Behind the scenes, industry tension grew. Executives distanced themselves. Commentators chose their words carefully. Nobody wanted to be the first domino, because once one powerful name falls, others usually follow. DL Hughley spoke openly about that fear. He explained how careers depend on alliances and how breaking silence can mean losing everything. That's why voices like his and 50's mattered. They weren't dependent on approval anymore. The emotional weight of the situation stretched beyond headlines. Fans felt conflicted. Jay-Z wasn't just an artist to them, he was a blueprint, a reminder that greatness could come from nothing. Watching his legacy questioned felt personal. Some defended him fiercely, refusing to entertain doubt. Others admitted they felt uneasy, not because they wanted him guilty, but because they wanted honesty. Families of alleged victims watched from the sidelines, used to being ignored. For them, the conversation wasn't about celebrity drama, it was about accountability, about whether powerful people ever face real consequences. DL Hughley emphasized that pain doesn't disappear just because years pass. Trauma doesn't care about fame. Meanwhile, Beyoncé remained silent too, and that silence spoke volumes. She's built her own legacy, separate yet connected. Some wondered how much she knew. Others argued it was unfair to involve her at all. But public relations blur personal boundaries. When one half of a power couple faces scrutiny, the ripple hits both. What nobody expected was how fast public opinion started shifting, not turning against Jay-Z completely, but becoming less absolute, more cautious. People stopped dismissing questions outright. They started saying things like, "I hope it's not true, but..." That pause mattered. It signaled change. DL Hughley continued pushing the conversation toward justice rather than gossip. He highlighted how many Epstein-related cases stalled or disappeared, how witnesses vanished, how investigations lost momentum. He asked why accountability feels selective. His frustration wasn't performative. It felt personal, like someone tired of watching the same story repeat with different names. 50 Cent, on the other hand, leaned into exposure. He reposted old interviews, old clips, moments people forgot, not to prove guilt, but to remind audiences that history leaves breadcrumbs. He didn't claim to have answers, he claimed to have memory, and memory can be dangerous in an industry built on reinvention. As days passed, the phrase "on the run" spread, even without evidence. It didn't necessarily mean fleeing law enforcement. To many, it meant staying ahead of narratives, moving quietly, protecting assets, preparing for fallout. In elite circles, that kind of movement is survival, not panic. Still, the emotional impact lingered. Jay-Z's story no longer felt untouchable. His image cracked, even slightly, and once cracks appear, people look closer. They re-watch interviews, reread lyrics, re-evaluate friendships. They notice things they once ignored. For Black communities especially, this moment hurt. Jay-Z represented progress. Seeing him questioned felt like watching another symbol fade. DL Hughley addressed that pain directly. He said accountability doesn't erase achievements, but ignoring harm erases humanity. He challenged listeners to separate admiration from blind loyalty. The ending of this story isn't written yet. No arrests, no court dates, no definitive answers, just questions growing louder. And maybe that's the point. Systems rely on silence. Power survives through distraction. When people start asking questions together, control weakens. As the noise continues, Jay-Z's next move will matter more than any rumor. Speaking could calm the storm or deepen it. Staying silent could protect him or isolate him. Either way, the era of unquestioned reverence seems over. 50 Cent and DL Hughley didn't claim to be heroes. They positioned themselves as observers refusing to look away. And in doing so, they reminded everyone of a hard truth. Fame doesn't equal truth. Wealth doesn't erase responsibility. And legends, no matter how carefully built, are still human. So now the spotlight waits. Not for a diss track, not for a viral joke, but for clarity. Because when stories like this surface, they don't just test individuals, they test the industry, the audience, and our willingness to demand better from those we once placed above reproach.